this piece of meat that is called pork jowl secreto. Drizzle a little bit of oil. We're just gonna use sea salt, cracked pepper, flip it, a bit of sea salt again, Cajun spice. You can hear the searing sound. As we're doing that, we're gonna crack a little bit more pepper in here, almost medium rare. Now I'm gonna lift it off the pan and turn off the heat. And the meat is actually like pinkish white. Hi, my name is Yenni and I'm from Meatology. Now I would like to share with you this piece of meat that is called pork jowl secreto. So it's actually this part of the head, whereby this is the muscle, which has a lot of fat, and as you can see, there's a lot of marbling in here. And why pork jowl secreto is because this cut you can actually find in some supermarkets in the pork section, the non-halal section. You can actually get this. And this is a very, very tender part of the head because the pig is resting like this all the time and it doesn't move. So that's why it's very, very tender. So the rest of the parts that they move, like the legs and all that, so that's the part that they actually are very tough. So let's not waste any time. Pork jowl secreto is best seared, very simple. Simple pan, a portable stove, anyone can cook at home. I'm gonna hold this up a bit. All right, so that this is, as you can see, there's a lot of marbling in here. Now, just to quickly turn on the heat, the stove, drizzle a little bit of oil. Why would I want to drizzle a little bit of oil first? It's because the oil will keep the salt from dehydrating the meat. So right now we're just going to use sea salt and cracked pepper, and then flip it, a bit of sea salt again. Now this time I will use Cajun spice. Drizzle a little bit. Be careful not to use too much of it because number one, it'll burn. Second, it's salty anyway. So you don't want to over salt it, and then after that, especially when you're serving guests, your guests are not, then people will think that you're a nonsense cook. So now we're going to test and see whether the pan is hot. Now, how are you going to know whether the pan is hot? Turn it on high heat, leave it, and then place the palm of your hand right above the surface of the pan. So don't put your hand in there, right? Okay, here we go. Right now it's nice and hot. You can hear the searing sound. Plonk it right in. So now, this piece of muscle is actually very thin. We do not want to overcook it, and at the same time we want to rest it a little bit. And then as we're doing that, we're going to crack a little bit more pepper in here, and slightly more Cajun spice to add flavor. So now, how do I want to do the browning of the meat? It's just by adding a little bit of butter. Okay, into the pan. I use unsalted butter. Reason why I use unsalted butter is because salted butter would burn it faster, so I want to play safe. Add the butter unsalted. Okay, now as you're doing this, you can also, let's say you want to give it a little bit more flavor, you can add a little bit more herbs and all that. But right now, I've added Cajun spice. I don't want to overcomplicate the flavors. So this is what I'll do lah, you know. I'll just, Cajun spice, cracked pepper, salt is good enough. So right now, it's browning already, and it's almost medium rare. Now I'm going to lift it off the pan and turn off the heat. And onto the cutting board and let it rest. So this quality of meat is from Spain. And it's just very premium pork. It's not our local kind of pork. Yeah. Now, right now I'm gonna just briefly share with you how to make the sauce. So we have onion. In Chinese we call chong tao. With my very little knowledge of Cantonese. So chong tao, we're gonna cut it. We're gonna dice it. So just gonna cut the head off. Of course, before this, I've already peeled lah. You know, I dehusk the skin a little bit, and now, how do you cut an onion? Like chop it. You don't actually cut it up and start chopping like crazy. No, there's a very simple technique here. The onion, as earlier on it was like that, and then I cut it into half, this, and then I let it sit down, and then I can see the grains here that is going like that. So I'm going to cut it. Okay, very close lines to each other. All right. And then from here, where all the lines were, I'm just going to place my palm, slice it in a little bit. All right. And you have your chopped onions. Voila. Okay. So I'm just going to continue. Do this. We need some onions to saute. Okay. Now, I'm just going to throw it right in to the pan because I want to collect all the juices and all the essence from the pan just now. All right. And then lightly saute it. Okay, if you can toss your pan, you can go and toss your pan, but if not, you just swivel the spoon along with the onions as you go along, it's also fine. But of course, if you want to toss the pan, this is, I'll just share with you how to do it. The movement, you lift it up, you push it forward and you drag it back. You do that. So, but if you do it with oil, then just be very careful. The oil might all come back onto you. But simple swiveling the pan around like this is fine. All right. And then also, yes, I've forgotten, add a little bit of rosemary, very fast. Give it flavor. I need to be faster than the heat. And then that's it, done. And then swivel it a little bit. Okay, then here is a shot of red wine. I'm gonna add it in. Whoops. Okay. And then turn the heat to medium because you don't want your red wine to actually disintegrate fast. Now, here's a bowl of brown sauce. And then this kind of brown sauce, you can actually get it from supermarkets and all that. What we've done, we've cooked our brown sauce ourselves. Okay, then turn back up the heat and let it simmer a little bit. And I'm just going to finish off with a bit of butter. Okay, I can get the whiff of rosemary and the creamy buttery from the pork fat lah. Okay, now finish off with a bit of butter before we cut the pork. I keep telling beef all the time. I do not know why, because I cook a lot of steaks and so pork, and then we're gonna like switch the heat a little bit lower as I plate. I'm gonna plate the dish now. So what I have here in my hand is pumpkin mash. Basically, it's how you just boil the pumpkin until it's really, really soft, and then you just take a mashed potato masher. You can get it from a lot of stores, supermarkets and all that. Just mash the hell out of it, and then you get like a thick kind of paste, and then you stir in a little bit of butter, and that's it. Very simple. And of course, don't forget to season. Okay, so just let's do this. Whack this thing in. Okay, and turn it like that, and we're good like that. See, it doesn't drop. After this, very quickly, now I'm going to switch pans. Yeah, we'll switch pans and very fast. Let's do this Brussels sprouts. I have a parboiled Brussels sprouts already. I'm just going to saute it with a little bit of butter. Okay. Sliced garlic flakes. All right. Check the gas. Everything is still fine. Okay. Gonna throw in the Brussels sprouts. Give it a bit of stir. Now in this, I'm not going to crack any pepper because I don't want to do it overdo it with too much of pepper. Then it's like pepper this, pepper that, pepper everything, you know. So just pepper nice on a piece of pork, and we're good. Okay. Pinch of salt. A little bit more. Okay. Now, we're going to slice this Secreto up, okay? Now, pan is still on here. Okay, now, watch. This is actually pinkish in color, in the center. And I'm going to slice it against the grain. Again, every meat, if you were to slice it against the grain, the meat will be tender, okay? Of course, if let's say you choose a more premium cut of the meat, and you slice it up, it's very tender. It doesn't, you slice it against the grain. So as the grain goes like this, you cut this way, and you're good. All right, so we have the Brussels sprouts, okay? And we plate this here. Okay, I don't want to overly pack the plate. That's good enough, and continue slicing. Okay, and look at this. It's actually, and the meat is actually like pinkish white. All right, and okay, and we're good. So now let's start plating it. Plate it, however, you don't have to have like a real way like how you want to place it. Just randomly place it so that it looks very natural. All right. Okay, very natural here. And then what I'm going to do is my sauce. Yes. switch pan. Okay, and then see the pan is actually, the sauce is actually still warm and nice. Okay, just gonna go over the pork. All right. Why I want to use, I want to keep the onions, we call it onion brunoise, sounds a bit atas, but onion brunoise is actually chopped onions basically. If you see in cookbooks and all that, they say, oh, onion brunoise and all that. So it's actually just basically it's chopped bloody onions, all right? So put it on, just drizzle it on top. You don't want to overdo it again, because then your pork will be swimming in the sauce. It's not so nice you know. But unless if, let's say you're a really like saucy person, you want to have a lot of sauce on your pork, is also fine. Okay? And we're good. And then we're gonna pretty it up with a little bit of edible flowers you can actually get from the supermarkets. A little bit more premium supermarkets, that is. I don't think so you can get this from the pasar. They're actually grown in Cameron Highlands or sometimes Genting Highlands. Okay, and then deck it up a little bit, and this one would actually make your dish look like it's Christmas or it's Valentine's Day. Okay, you can impress your date. Okay, here we go. I want to give it like a really bright, happy color right here. Okay, and yes, we're good like that. And if you're like a rosemary die-hard fan, you can also just chop very finely rosemary and just sprinkle on top. Otherwise, we're good. Pork Jowl Secreto. This is a Spanish pig, Iberico. Bon appetit.